Hi everyone, I am Arnold James Akot, and this is Module 7 Monitoring and Evaluating Social Marketing and Social Mobilization Programs. Today's highlight will discuss the overview of evaluation, revisit the formative evaluation description, which was discussed by my groupmate, and we'll talk about the summative and process evaluation. So, why evaluate? Well, first, because you can't celebrate success until you know that you've in fact had success. And second, because you can't learn from the experience of what didn't work well until you know what didn't work so well. So, as Scriven described it as the process which identifies relevant values or standards that apply to what is being evaluated, performs empirical investigation using techniques from the social sciences, and then integrates conclusions with the standards into an overall evaluation or set of evaluations. Health Education Partners 2006 that at a basic level, the amount of exposure your campaign achieves, the amount of noise it generates. So basically, evaluation informs best practices. Evaluation is also a way to measure stuff. In this case, it's social marketing and mobilization stuff. Essentially, we decide what we want to achieve with communications, then gather evidence to prove that the way we want to achieve it might work. Then we try it. Then we prove whether it did or didn't work. So it's important to understand that there are two types of evaluation: those that occur before and during a campaign, which is the formative evaluation, and those that occur as you gather and process campaign data, summative evaluation. So Scriven 1967 thinks of formative evaluation as communications recon. It produces information that is fed back during the development of a campaign to help improve it. So it also can begin with fact-finding missions using literature reviews, community focus groups, and interviews with key stakeholders. The formative evaluation stage is your chance to test your hypothesis and determine if your assumptions are right. This fine tuning is what it takes to put you on the path to successful communications. So Lausen, 1995, stated that a needs assessment begin with an audience analysis or environmental scan to learn about an audience's behaviors and become familiar with events and trend in the environment. So what is summative evaluation? Well, formative evaluation discussed that just what it says it does in helping to form a campaign. Summative evaluation also does what it says it does. It sums up what's happened. So, summative evaluation typically occurs when a campaign reaches certain benchmarks. It gives us the detail we need to persuade board of directors, funders, and decision makers that communication is worth investing or worth the investment. So it provides information to help us improve our campaign approaches and determines the effectiveness of the campaign overall. So here's an example of evaluation techniques that fall under the summative evaluation. So we have the process evaluation. So GAO 2011 discussed that it assesses the extent to which a communications campaign is being delivered as it was intended. That is how true the program is to its blueprint. When you look back, process evaluation responds to the success indicators for your inputs and outputs. So it also where you can determine the influence of external factors and any missed assumptions. In this phase, evaluators seek to know what happened during the course of a communication campaign in social marketing and social mobilization program. Evaluators will then ask, what is being delivered? How much the traffic Was there to a campaign posted to any social media platforms? How many views did a video receive on YouTube? We're determining volume and measuring the noise generated by a campaign, not the action the campaign motivated its audience to take. That comes later. So, as with a formative evaluation, data collection for a process of evaluation is often conducted using a mix of, you got it right, quantitative and qualitative methods. So, quantitative strategies such as interviews, focus groups, usability testing, surveys with program staff are particularly useful in that they provide information that is difficult to tease out of quantitative findings. So you will also ask, how is the communication campaign being delivered? Are there barriers to implementation according to the interview subjects? And those delivering the message can often provide unique perspectives on the program. What's working, what isn't working, and how it can be adjusted. So, in addition, direct observation of a campaign in action can again reveal insights about an initiative. So, I guess that's it for quantitative data about my report. So, to further the discussion, I want you to evaluate your DEVC 208 performance. Rate yourself. 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest, and why? And number 2, how can evaluation prove bigger isn't always better in terms of a communication campaign? So here's the reference I used for this report. So I guess that's it. Thank you so much. I'm Arnold James Akot, and this is Module 7, Monitoring and Evaluating Social Marketing and Social Mobilization Program.